Welcome to the battlefield of brains, where strategy meets chaos and every move burns with intensity. Watch Grandmasters clash. Pieces fall, and legends rise. Nikita plays 1 to d4. He plants a central pawn like a standard-bearer at the gates, demanding space and initiative early. Wesley replies, 1 to out. nf6. Wesley develops calmly. The knight eyes central squares and prepares to contest white's ambitions. Nikita plays 2 Portland. c4, pressing the center like an advancing spear. Nikita tries to undermine black's foothold immediately. Wesley answers 2 pedal win in Wanikri. Now, then Monan Omenajstivia, a no Koreastaja, STN, of Tomate. Piliin. g6, preparing a fianchetto. Wesley signals a hypermodern plan, with the dark squared bishop waiting to strike. Nikita brings out 3 piliin. nc3. More reinforcement for d5 control. Nikita builds a flexible formation for future tactical shots. Wesley strikes 3. And p. T. d5, contesting the center directly. Wesley challenges the c4 pawn and draws both armies into confrontation. Nikita plays 4 piliin. nf3, solid development. Knight supports central squares and readies to assist both attack and defense. Wesley develops 4 piliin. Maïsenai. bg7, the fianchetto bishop slides into position, aiming down the long diagonal at white's king area. Nikita pins with 5 tertui. Mulanzimiwis on Bestergenes extepenventu. Big a5, an aggressive pin to annoy black's knight. Nikita seeks to provoke weaknesses or force concessions. Wesley thrusts 5 testitun. N4, ignoring the pin. Wesley's knight invades the center with boldness, hunting tactical chances immediately. Nikita captures 6 piliin. Cx at 5, opening the center and exchanging pawns. Nikita seeks to exploit the advanced knight on e4. Wesley replies 6. Candy shown, and Mel will reach your crown. Button. Mr. Pa. Inksky 5. Wesley trades off to relieve tension and pick up a piece, simplifying while gaining space. Nikita recaptures 7 port. Niksky 5. Nikita reclaims material and opens lines, keeping the fight dynamic and unbalanced on the board. Wesley plays 7 tortuin, page 7. Andadaniya. None. Ezix, solidifying the center. Wesley prepares to recapture and stabilize his pawn structure calmly. Nikita retreats 8, piliin. nf3, the knight returns, regrouping to safer squares while keeping pressure possibilities alive for later. Wesley recaptures 8 Portman, and removed the same horse descendant sign. Annie, and want on an isen, and the door is situation. And the mouth, on the ante, and he says seal, on them well. X5, Wesley fixes central structure. The e-pawn now becomes a spearhead into white's camp if allowed. Nikita moves 9 pawns. E3, a modest but vital pawn step, tightening white's center and freeing the bishop for further rolls. Wesley pushes 9. Pobrin Vayman, Chandarok Sumesturas and Ishima, pitch this 9 minutes. And enough. Memory, warns is seven, a decision nine. Afif, probing on the queen side. Wesley seeks counterplay, and to open lines against white's b4 intentions. Nikita develops 10-pawn. B3, bishop eyes kingside diagonals and supports central control. Preparing castle and middle game plans, white. Wesley castles 10 port kunden, denum option of the taish. Onen, Dainen. Ennes, Amanueta, Kewebor and Cheriori. Oh! Wesley tucks his king safely and brings a rook into battle-ready position on the open file. Nikita places 11. Arcone, rook to the file behind the c-pawn. Preparing to contest the c-file and pressure black's position. Wesley answers 11. 2. Nana. Nananunus. Nets, ilan denan made pibdin. Re-8. Rook to 8 signals central intentions. Wesley lines up behind the e-pawn for potential breaks. Nikita, castles 12. Pristimation, Yembuluzen, is Chilin. Oh, king secured. Rooks connected. Nikita completes development and prepares for middle game tactics. Wesley plays 12. Petrol win Tumistin. Donald. Piliin. Paintin. Osadium. Thanks. Strengthening d5 and b5 squares. Wesley fortifies the center and prepares queenside flexibility. Nikita plays 13. Pachi. A3. A quiet preparatory pawn move. Preventing pins and preparing b4 expansion on the queen side. Wesley repositions 13th. Endesinantina. And 7. The knight steps back to support e5 and b6 squares. Wesley increases his positional resilience. Nikita pushes 14 tene. b4, a bold queenside assault. Nikita storms forward to open files and dislodge black's structure. Wesley responds 14. Pendensen, for the natural wastes. Est. Antadi. Axe b4. Capturing on b4 to blunt white's advance and open lines on the queenside with immediate effect. Nikita recaptures 15 tara. Axe b4. Opening the a-file. Nikita puts rooks and pawns into direct confrontation on the flank. Wesley advances 15 porte. Inibi. Inden. Chalanesil. Camilla Zetmur. Understand. b5. A robust pawn shove. Wesley blocks the file and creates a pawn chain to contest white's aims. Nikita erupts 16. a4. A central break. Nikita detonates the center to activate pieces and open lines toward black's king. Wesley replies 16. Two is suit painun, the mingo would soon in, when say nine. Ninjadin. Nan. Dixafur, accepting the challenge. Wesley captures to resolve central tension and activate his own pieces. Nikita recaptures 17. Knight recaptures with vigor, centralizing and looking toward infiltration, roots into black's camp. Wesley repositions 17. And when an animal on Piliin Solomon and stays it to pair. End fight. Knight retreats to a defensive post, ready to reroute to stronger squares or guard kingside. Nikita lifts 18. Rione, rook to the center behind the e-pawn, reinforcing central control and preparing to support breakthroughs. Wesley develops 18. On. Aninen. How. And bonus siunezishay. In the kaburi extensive. Ab. Bg4. Bishop pins a knight, aiming to create tactical pressure and complicate white's coordination. Nikita shocks with 19. Cheeks, a daring rook invasion. Nikita sacrifices structure for activity by entering enemy territory on 6 Tumayan. Kit 6 cocktail. Wesley answers 19 tot. Mitsuo on Sionayan in Saai. Anan. Istanan si kamin, a Benoborondant, and Dio. BXF3, capturing a key defender. Wesley trades material to blunt white's attacking pieces and simplify. Nikita plays 20, piliin. QXF3, queen recaptures with authority. Centrally placed and ready to coordinate threats across both wings. Wesley counters 20 takes. An. Ka. Andy. QX4, sightseeing a pawn and striking into white's position. Wesley Zeitz's initiative and practical chances. Nikita retreats 21. Panchanuomniptiye. Bifone. Bishop slides back to shore up the king, tightening defenses and preventing tactical shots. Wesley doubles 21. Tadetsuenden. Hedisunen. And that Tanatfit. Unti. Yansen and Yese. Radite. Rook centralizer and prepare to dominate files. Wesley coordinates for increased pressure on white's center. Nikita invades 22. AC7. Rook thrust into black's camp. Nikita hunts for tactics, aiming at weak back ranks and unguarded squares. Wesley replies 22. Pestabuish designating hey. Nendanion. And in Bonidachi Worston, Terrasil. And as even. Knight shifts to protect critical squares, shoring up black's position against infiltration and threats. Nikita grabs 23. Bx b5 bishop takes on b5, scooping material and destabilizing black's queenside pawns further. Shistian. Wesley recaptures 23 to stray. And many. Panyamanda. And Epcheni. Men. QXB4. Queen snaps a pawn and counters on the queen side, reclaiming material and equalizing chances. Nikita plays 24. Queen e2. Queen repositions to support defense and coordinate rooks, seeking to neutralize black's looming threats. Wesley replies 24. And she. And a min opinion moinen, estowuli, cat pestai. Arexur. A sharp exchange sacrificing rook activity for dynamic pressure. Wesley opens lines with intent. Nikita recaptures 25. Qx4. Queen takes back, keeping material balance but exposing white's king to latent pressure. Wesley replies 25. Undone. Qxb5. Queen snatches more material on the queen side, increasing black's tangible edge and simplifying. Nikita plays 26. Ardona. Rook to dun. Into Pisepsia in Kabiasten. White tries to consolidate and contest central files against black's active pieces. Wesley positions 26. And Befive. Bishop plants centrally on an aggressive diagonal, cramping white's setup and creating tactical motifs. Nikita doubles 27. Pattern wisdom. Raycone. Rooks coordinate on the c-file, attempting to reclaim control and generate counterplay on open lines. Wesley answers 27. Pendi. Indian. Anadnil Wundigens. Kenachatdishan. No. Ray8. Rook supports the center and e-file. Wesley organizes pieces harmoniously to press his advantage. Nikita shifts 28. Qd3. Queen centralizes, aiming to trade queens or find perpetual defensive resources to relieve pressure. Wesley obliges 28. Petsonorin. Ein. And T. Qxd3. Queens are traded. Wesley steers the game toward a technical middle game where his slight edge matters. Nikita recaptures 29. Rxd3. Rook takes back. White consolidates pieces, but black's activity persists and pawns remain targets. Wesley repositions 29. Piliin. Most gestural speculaya, in an meorbona de sten in it shiboda. And it's done an. Nf6. Knight re-enters the fight, eyeing central squares and ready to spring into tactical outposts. Nikita plays 30. Key. A luft and prophylactic move. Nikita creates breathing room for his king and blunts checks. Wesley counters 30. Indian. Ind. Panestasian. A pimendo ascertande. Rook gates. Rook heads for the b-file. Ready to pressure queenside weaknesses and invade white structure. Nikita plays 31. Tetemstele. Umuris. Enanis ixeo. Inocentele. Rc2. Rook lifts to second rank, connecting defense and preparing to meet black's infiltration on files. Wesley continues 31. Pendisilt. Tetemes and fune. Then mutation. Nin. Umetenan. Ninawa. RB4. Rook invades the fourth rank, probing for weaknesses and hemming in white's pieces. Nikita moves 32. KJ2. king steps towards safety, linking rooks and activating the monarch for endgame considerations. Wesley replies 32. Annen, anda, nz, inne, inamo, antene. G7. Black's king moves to consolidate and support connected rooks in the approaching ending. Nikita plays 33. Re2. Rook centralizes behind the pawns, preparing defensive resources and potential lateral defense. Wesley answers 33. BD4. Bishop lands on a powerful central diagonal, exerting pressure and restricting white's coordination. Oops. Nikita responds 34. Red to rule, shifting rooks to reinforce the center. White fights to keep files under control. Wesley repositions 34. Undetkorn. And see when day. Menanen. Hobo, Bastian. BD6. Bishop withdraws to a secure post while maintaining influence over key diagonals. Nikita plays 35 died. RF3. Rook aims to bolster the third rank, guarding pawns and seeking counterplay on the king side. Wesley pushes 35. Chip. And extension is the case of an eroded chapsio. Nindani says. A5. A pawn thrust to create luft. Pry open lines and start kingside tension late in the game. Nikita plays 36. RDD3. Rooks double up defensively. White shores holes and prepares to meet black's upcoming tactics. Wesley leaps 36. Onen, one milvenjakanda, ikshimestein stelwi, and tokfilin, is chuanik dodo record. Emnian. Nayfua, knight invades decisively, landing on a central outpost that threatens forks and tactical disruptions. Nikita plays 37. Tandiwan the boat ta, and mujemu botanik chade, and dinta peletana pitsphere. Edzigan. Rook climbs to the 7th rank, trying to harass black's camp and create counterchances. Wesley replies 37. Nen Edgen Pika. And an ilwayo, Benevon, and Stesmase, in a strain may, and Benjoista base. Ing5. Knight swings to G5. Eyeing F3, and E4 squares, tightening the net around white's position. Nikita shifts 38. FD3. Rooks regroup to defend key squares. White tries to stabilize under heavy pressure. Wesley invades 38. Pest. Indian. Ilon. Int. Anbanai. And no shay. Kiwin. Kiwin. RB2. Rook thrust deep into white's territory, aiming to cut off defense and exploit back rank holes. Nikita captures 39. RD2. Exchanging rooks to relieve pressure. White hopes simplification eases the mounting threats. Wesley recaptures 39. Andian, Tantimian, Aho. Annin, Jangbun Chow. RxD2. Wesley's rook now dominates the 7th and 2nd ranks. Black's activity becomes overwhelming. Nikita plays 40. Erik's d2. The last exchange sees rooks traded off. White aims to survive with minor pieces only. Wesley answers 40-10. Penning vua windio punde. Estiman, injao moon. Nyanen. Pon olen. One can sequential. N4. Knight centralizes again. Piliin so piliin again. A powerful post that controls squares and supports future plans. Nikita plays 41. 31. Re2. Rook, now on e2, seeks to block and defend, attempting to limit the knight's reach. Wesley replies 41 peste. And stiali. Enigerse. Iyong, a tactical strike. Wesley's knight captures on f2 to rip open white's kingside structure. Nikita plays 42. rb2. Rook retreats to b2 to cover ranks and attempt to blunt black's invading forces. Wesley responds 42. Mana nasi. Anatimon. AC1 pedan. bc5. Bishop to c5 eyes critical diagonals. Increases pressure and coordinates with the active knight. Nikita pushes 43. Hey, Nikita creates a luft and delays tactics, a small but necessary breath for his king's safety. Wesley answers 43. Nobulen cannon. Still, Kionless can. Enan? N4. The knight jumps once more into the center, looming with forks and invasion motifs. Nikita plays 44. Re2. White repositions his rook to et2, trying to contest checks and shield the king. Wesley replies 44. Inayer, and inainen, and andite, and the ante. And N5. Wesley's knight swings to g5, threatening local tactics and pushing white further onto the back foot. Nikita plays 45. Re5. An active rook lift. Nikita seeks counterplay and aims to disturb black's coordinated pieces. Wesley responds 45. Ninda, Nitnestezaji. And final. N6. The knight retreats to a secure Panitsadelmonoben, and Betchen Stemanijanitio. Dominating outposts. Consolidating black's advantage, calmly and precisely. Nikita moves 46. Kf3. King steps forward to help. An attempt to aid pieces and cling to last active hopes. Wesley answers 46. Nenidilanain kanikka. Yanni. Kf6. Black's king advances too, joining the fight and readying to support the final operation. Nikita plays 47. Tone. Ad5. Rook charges into central squares searching for tricks or perpetual opportunities to harass black. Wesley replies 47 tenant. Antoni. Assispen. Immanuel I see Kalisten. bb6. Bishop protects key squares and cuts off rook infiltration. Black's control grows surgical and exact. Nikita plays 48. rd6. The rook penetrates deeper, clinging to activity and striving to complicate matters defensively. Wesley answers 48. Mistios. Azeno, and then, Pi. BA7, bishop repositions with purpose. Neutralizing counterplay and corralling white's remaining pieces. Nikita plays 49, party C. Odds even, the rook lands on the 7th rank again. A final stand to contest, black's smooth plan. Wesley responds 49. Pancho Weoti. And, Yati. Enter. Kingai. Befeve. Bishop to a5 centralizes harmfully, choking off escape squares, and increasing the mating net. Nikita plays 50, in. RD3, rook retreats to D3. Regrouping for defense, and attempting to hold the last lines. Wesley strikes 50. 1 new. Cannon, Undimem. Eng5, a forcing knight check that fractures white's coordination, and prees open critical squares. Nikita replies 51, 40. KJ2, king sidesteps to G2. Trying to survive the onslaught and avoid tactical shot lines. Wesley answers 51, 50. And then the old man. Adiado. Oh. Aunda. Oh. Go on ye. And Asa. Allo. And say. Kafif, Wesley's king, marches forward into the fray. Active and supporting the decisive breakthrough. Nikita plays 52. Re3, rook returns to block and defend. White desperately searches for resources to keep the king safe. Wesley replies 52. NNDUNT. F6, pawn supports key squares. Limits white's rook mobility. And prepares the final ringing assault. Nikita plays 53. Rayone, last defensive formation. Nikita places the rook to interpose and harass black's advancing forces. Wesley replies 53. And odd. Nay4, the knight lands powerfully in the center, cutting all defensive avenues and readying the end. Nikita checks with 54 time. Afonena, a final flare of resistance. Nikita gives check as a desperate attempt to unnerve black. Wesley calmly plays 54. And 10. KA5, Wesley's king sidesteps into safety while keeping all winning threads. The game ends 0-1. I'll end the video here. Please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I'll keep finding the best and newest videos to share with you. Thank you so much. And I wish you all happiness and good health.